Hey friends, welcome back to Arts and Crafts. Today we're just going for something quick and easy. I've been doing a lot of projects with granny squares recently, so I thought it'd be cool to bring you guys along and show you how I make mine. I'm gonna try and do my best at that, and we're just gonna get right into it. Starting with your base color, I'm going to create a magic knot, and to do that, I'm gonna go over my fingers. Behind that one, I'm going to take my needle, under the first one, grab that second string, and pull it through. And then I'm going to take the other two strings and pull them together until it is tight on there. So now that it's like this, chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're just gonna go back into that first chain, like so, and slip stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through that first loop. So you're left with this little guy. You're now going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like so. And now we are going to do 3 single crochets into the middle of this little circle. So through, yarn over, you'll have 3, and just yarn over all of them. 2 more times. Yarn over through that same middle hole. There's your third one. Now we're going to create our first corner by simply just chaining 2, 1, 2. After your first chain 2, you're going to do 3 single crochets back into that little middle that we're starting to create. 2, 3. Create our next corner again, chain 2. And again, 3 single crochets back into that middle that we're starting. So now this is what we're looking like. We're gonna create 1 more corner, chain 2. And to finish this off, we're just going to do 2 single crochets back into that middle. And then find that first 4 chain that you did, and you're just gonna go through it and slip stitch through that last one. So we're left with our inner square. Personally, starting the next color, I just tie it off onto my last string. It doesn't make it the cleanest, but it is easy, and that's what I do. So I've tied off my next color and I'm ready for my next layer. I'm just going to stick my hook through that first big hole, yarn over so I have a loop ready to go. And to start it off, we're going to chain 4. Next, you're gonna do 3 single crochets into that same first hole. So I've got my first one there. I'm gonna do 2 more. 3, just like that. Now we're gonna move over to this next corner, and we're gonna do 3 single crochets into that same corner hole. Then to create our corner, again, we're going to chain 2. And 3 single crochets into the same corner. So as you can see, that made a corner. We're just gonna continue that step, finding our next corner on this side and doing 3 single crochets into it. And there's our third. Create that corner again by chaining 2, 1, 2, and 3 single crochets into the same corner. And just as the same as before, we're moving over to this last side, and we're gonna do 3 single crochets into that same corner hole. Make our last corner, chain 2, and just like before, 3 single crochets into the same corner that we were just putting them into. This is how we're looking, and now all we have to do is finish off the side. So you're gonna wanna find that first 4 chains that we did, and you're gonna do 2 single crochets into that first hole, this guy down here. Just 2 of them. And just as we finished off our last corner, we're just gonna go through that 4 chain, yarn over and pull through, and yarn over and pull through that loop. And you have your first 2 colors. I'm just gonna go ahead and tie it off and get the next one ready to go. And as you can tell, we're just doing the same thing for each of these rows. So I'm just gonna go over 1 more row with you. Start it off, we're gonna chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 single crochets into that same corner. So the only difference that's gonna come as you build this up is now you can see we have a middle hole and the corner hole. So we're gonna do 3 single crochets into the middle, like so, and then 3 single crochets into our corner. There's our third. We're gonna create our corner, chain 2, and 3 single crochets into that same corner, 3 single crochets into our next middle, 3 single crochets into our next corner, chain 2, and 3 double crochets into that same corner, and repeat, 3 single crochets into the middle, 3 single crochets into our last corner, chain 2, and 3 single crochets back into that same corner, and 3 single crochets into our last middle. And just as always, to complete that last, you're gonna find that 4 chain. You're gonna do 2 single crochets into that first corner. Through that last 4 chain, yarn over, and pull through that last loop. And just like that, you've created your first granny square. And with this same pattern, you can just keep going and going as big as you want them to be. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was informative. Stay tuned on my channel because I have so many projects in the works with my granny squares, and I can't wait to show you guys. Until next time, peace!